Capcom, the studio that is the quintessential meaning of falling from grace. What are we going to do with your ignorant, fallible, and incredulous statements? Because every time you talk, every time you speak of that flaming dumpster fire that is Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, every time something is released about this game, it makes me want to vomit. Because I used to be such a super big fan of Capcom franchises. I still am to some degree. I still appreciate their characters, but their games recently have not been looking so hot. They actually been pretty average and mediocre, if you want my honest opinion. But every time they talk, every time Capcom says something, it always makes no sense. It's always pseudo-intellectual nonsense. Let's take this statement from the Capcom Director of Production for MVCI, Mr. Michael Evans, and he said this recently to GameSpot. He said that your modern Marvel fan, maybe they don't even remember some of the X-Men characters, but they know some of the Guardians characters or Black Panther. You know what I mean? Captain Marvel may seem like a strange pick, but she's fantastic. She fits the gameplay. She fits the story. And they're going to be really pushing for her as a strong female lead all the way up into the movie. So basically they are saying that there's an excuse for not having the X-Men in their game. There's an excuse because people don't remember the X-Men. Let me ask you guys a rational question. If people don't care about the X-Men, why was Logan a really successful movie? Why is Fox trying to keep them alive? Why do they have stuff on TV like Legion? Why are they making new movies like The New Mutants? Why do they continue going down this path if the X-Men isn't important to someone? Now, as much as it sucks that Fox has the film license, the X-Men used to be so prominent in the years past. They used to be all over the place when Marvel had the rights to everything. I mean, it goes without saying that the first X-Men movie also kickstarted the whole comic book craze in terms of comic book movies. The X-Men are very important. They have been in various games, fighting games, role-playing games, adventure games, you name it, it's probably been done. The story has a lot of diversity. It's all about segregation and the war between humans and mutants. And these stories have been so important and popular that they spawned so many comics back then. But you're saying they aren't important, right? I think this is mostly an excuse because Capcom just isn't willing to either use the X-Men for some reason. Maybe they have to pay a license also to the film studio, which is Fox. Given how Marvel is working a lot on the MCU, they're busting their ass on creating this universe. Given how big the MCU is, of course Capcom will make a statement saying that yes, it's fine that we're using Captain Marvel, it's fine that we're using the Guardians, it's fine that we have Black Panther, which is not so fine to us fans because he's DLC. Given how Capcom made this deal with Marvel, of course they will say something like this. You guys are in bed with them. You guys easily have the MCU characters whenever you want. They are accessible whenever you desire because you made the deal already. If you had the X-Men already, you wouldn't be making outlandish statements like this. And you know it. And you know it. But I think Capcom and their money troubles and whatnot, because they restructured twice, they have put a big defense on not getting a hostile takeover, so they really don't want to either be taken over or become bankrupt. They also made a lot of remasters at a certain point in time and clearly said they were broke. So Capcom is not the most frugal with funds, and I know this. Now I want you guys to take a wild guess. Guess who pays the price here? The fans, because The Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite roster is looking a little low right now. It's looking a little, well, dead, according to all the leaks, all the data mining, everything. Those faces look horrendous. It looks like some low budget PS2 trash. You know there's a huge problem if a lot of Marvel vs. Capcom games that preceded this one has a bigger character roster, and some of these games aren't even as intensive as MVCI. A lot of characters are being locked behind DLC. It seems Capcom reverted back to their old ways of once again milking the consumer. And it's a shame. They're talking out of their butt because they won't go out there, they won't go out and try to license the characters for their games, and thus the roster is going to suffer. At least on the Marvel side. The Capcom side, I have no fucking idea what they're doing. They're putting in characters because lazy work, I guess, because you have Frank West and RE5 Chris Redfield, even though that design is obsolete. So it looks like Infinite is going to be a lazy cash-in at best. And the X-Men will probably still be relevant even if this game flops. That's how I feel. I think them saying this discredits the history of Marvel. It really is a slap in the face to a lot of people saying that, oh, people don't remember the X-Men. A lot of people love the freaking X-Men. And guess how many people would take the X-Men in the MCU any day, any time of the week? A lot of people, a significant number of people will say yes to that idea. This is a gigantic shame to the X-Men that were in the other games. It sucks that we won't play with Wolverine. We won't have the Berserker Barrage. It sucks that we won't have other characters. It sucks that Gambit's not going to be in there. It sucks that Storm's not going to be in there. It sucks that Rogue's going to be gone. It really sucks. It's like a no-win situation. And Capcom really has to make that excuse because they have nothing else better to say. How can they justify this? How can they justify the low roster input? How can they justify all this on this DLC? How can they justify fucking characters being locked behind paywalls? I will not be supporting this game at all. If you want my opinion, go out there, play Tekken 7. It's brilliant. The fighting mechanics are brilliant. Light on the content, but still brilliant. And then we have Dragon Ball FighterZ, which honestly at 20%, that looks incredible. I will be definitely picking that up, and I will be maining Trunks, and I hope that game is really, really good. There are so many other games that I can pick over MVCI. It's amazing. Because I'm a gamer, and I don't like to get screwed by Capcom. I'm sorry, I would rather make an educated decision and buy something else. So, while you guys say the X-Men aren't relevant, I will be probably watching Logan again, a fantastic movie that, worldwide, it got critical acclaim, so Capcom, just keep eating your words as usual. I will see you guys next time. Later.